Hi guys, it's Jamie, and today I'm going to show you these little plates. They're a little bit different than the other press plates that I've done in the past. I'm calling these my grateful garlic graters. And so I'm starting out with a slab of clay, and I just rolled this. And one thing that's interesting to note is if you look at the sides of this clay, you can see this side is a little bit thicker than this side. So it's always good once you get your clay out is to maybe go over it with your pony roller and just make it into an even level slab. And then next, what I would normally do is set on my template and then, trace it out and to know where I'm working with. But I don't have my templates with me today, so I'm improvising. And what I'm doing is I'm taking one of my Bonnie Bowl sets, and this is exactly what I want, the size that I want, and I'm just going to use that as my template. So I put that on there and I have the ring. So now I know the area in which I'll be working. I'm just going to select one of these little stamps and let's go for it. You want to make sure that you get a nice deep impression. The next thing I'm going to do is just add some flower decoration around the side. This is a stamp I got it's meant for fabric for t-shirts at the hobby store. So now that I've got my decoration, I just picked it up because it's been sticking to the ground. And so now I'm going to put it back down. And I can still see my line for where my bowl was. So now I'm going to put my bowl over it. I have to say this is much easier cutting out than using the tar templates I normally do. Next, I'm going to smooth out the sides, and I'm doing that with just some plastic. This is now ready for pressing. These are a couple of foams that I got at the shipping store. The next thing I'm going to do is press it. And this is a round box that I got at the craft store. And it actually has nested boxes in it. So you can either buy them singularly or with additional boxes. But this is the shape that I'm going for. And to know exactly what I got here, this one is almost 5 inches. And this bowl here is 7 inches. So that gives you 2 inches with 1 inch on each side. So you could treat this top with some sealer if you just want to press it directly into clay, but for me it's just easier to keep the plastic. So I pressed it in. Take this away. I'm going to put in a little stamp. This is a 3D printed stamp that one of our customers is making for us at the studio. So here's my little press bowl. And what this is on its way to becoming is my grateful garlic grater. So I don't mind the ripples in the sides, but for the garlic grater, I have a feature in them where you can pour it off into your salad afterwards. So I'm going to make sure that on the bottom, I'm going to have a little pouring area. So that's ready to go. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Next up is the handle. So I cut a strip probably about a 1/2 inch. And then this one is probably a 1/4 inch. So they're both a 1/4 inch thick. And now what I'm going to do is just smooth the edges. I don't like picking up a handle and having rough part. This one I'm only doing it on one side. It really doesn't matter because I'm sticking it directly on here. And because this is wet clay, I don't need to worry about it sticking, because I'm going to come across here with a roller or a stamp and press it in. So normally what I'll do is I'll take elements from my design. You know, I could either press in parts of this onto there on the way up. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. So to do that, I'm going to pre-treat it with some cornstarch and then just press. So that's what happens. And I like that. So when I'm doing these handles, I don't like them very big. So I'm just going to cut out where my favorite spot is, probably about 4 to 4.5 inches. So these things you want to do, and when the clay is wet, you don't want it to have set up. So I turned it into my rainbow, and I'm going to leave it there and bring back my other piece. And now this will go right here. So what I'm going to do now is scratch and attach. So when I'm looking at this, I'm actually looking and thinking it's a little short now. So I would say maybe 4.5 or 5 would be good, but play with it. It's up to whatever pleases you. And what I'm using here is just some slip that I put into a tube. It makes it easier for applying. It's a ketchup and mustard tube from the dollar store. To make sure it's really on there, I'm just going to use my end of my needle tool and press. And now I have a cute little grateful garlic tray. So it's pretty easy and fun to try. I would recommend when you're glazing that you, what I do in my technique is I put an iron stain on the design part just in the middle, and then I wax it, wait for it to dry, and then I dip in glaze. And then, take my sponge and get out the bits that remain on the design. And that's it. So I will have some finished ones to show you at the end of this video as well as in the beginning. All right. Hope you try it. Have fun. Thanks. So next up, I'm going to show you how to apply garlic here and use my plates. So you just rub against the textured surface of the plate, and you rub it as long as you want to get that minced garlic. So these plates are great for if you're just going to do dipping, or let's say you want to make a salad dressing. You could, salad dressing for one, you could start off this way as well too. So discard the remnants of the garlic and now add oil. I'm using olive oil here, but you could use whatever oil you like. And then I'm going to finish it off with some salts. These are from Salt Saloon, and also there's a joint venture with Ventana. So I'm going to use a little bit of both and try this out. Both of these are really wonderful. So I encourage you to try these plates out and explore with salts. It's really fun. So the bread, that's all I need right there. And I'm ready to go for the bread. So I encourage you to try this out. What's wonderful is you have the little pouring spout at the end. So let's say if you don't use all your oil from your personal dipping plate, you can just pour it into your salad afterward, which is awesome. Anyway, enjoy. I certainly did. Catch you next time.